Before I begin today, I just want to take a second to remember a huge influence on my life and many people's lives around Los Angeles and the world, and that is, of course, Kobe Bryant. Now, it's pretty hard to imagine what it's like growing up in LA in the 90s with Kobe Bryant and the Lakers on TV all the time. We didn't have a football team. The Lakers were one of the most winning dynasties with Shaq and Kobe. The iconic nature of Kobe's life here in LA can't be overstated. And his growth as not only a basketball icon, but a business icon and just a motivational figure in general, his loss is being felt in a serious way across LA and the world. So for all Kobe fans and everyone out there being affected, we're all in this together, and there will definitely be a healing process here. Rest in peace, Kobe. We all miss you very, very much. Now, in huge news coming out of one of the most popular cryptocurrencies in the world, that is XRP and the Ripple company behind the XRP token, there is an announcement that there will be potentially an IPO for Ripple, the privately held San Francisco company, within the next year. Now, this prompted a tremendous amount of backlash on crypto Twitter, a lot of people proclaiming that this is the death of Ripple, and we want to look into that question. Is this the death of Ripple, or is this the beginning of a new chapter for Ripple, beginning with a publicly traded entity that allows you to actually have access to the equity side of this Ripple payments network? The question is up in the air, but we're going to look at a variety of sources right now to try to find the truth of the matter. Is the Ripple IPO an indication of growth for Ripple and potentially the entire crypto industry, or is this the nail in the coffin of a sliding and potentially on its way to dying cryptocurrency in the form of XRP? We're going to try to find an answer to that question over the next few minutes. Now, of course, crypto Twitter tended to react a little bit like this, of course, with Bully Esquire responding with this beautiful paragraph you can see here. This is what it seemed like a lot of people felt as their reaction when the news originally dropped that Ripple's IPO was going to happen within 12 months. There is a sense that this IPO is officially a white flag being waved, but that's not really the case if you ask Ripple executives, and specifically their CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, who believes that to accomplish their mission, to really enable corridors of payments all around the world, they're going to need billions and billions and billions of dollars in liquidity, and that can be accomplished through an IPO. In fact, there could be a very positive view of this, where essentially Ripple is able to generate a tremendous amount of liquidity without selling their XRP tokens, which we all know has been a consistent problem within the XRP community, the dumping going on by the centralized counterparty that is Ripple. Many people are taking a wait and see approach when it comes to the concept of this Ripple IPO, with some market analysts saying that though Ripple is making inroads, it is yet to disrupt the global money transfer system in a major way. Initially, after the IPO, the market participants might be patient but will soon seek results. When the results don't come, it will hurt prices. And this is the sort of double-edged sword that is an IPO. They're going to generate a tremendous amount of liquidity, but now their heads are really on the chopping block in a much more official way than just token prices, which tend to be volatile, and a lot of people don't necessarily associate token price with overall health of the underlying entity. In fact, a lot of bullish people in the space tend to completely ignore price swings as a completely invalid indication of health of the underlying asset. That is a traditional way to look at things here in crypto somehow. Yet once you're on the stock market, a huge price dip, a huge sink in the valuation of your publicly traded entity would be seen undoubtedly as an unhealthy asset. But to get more clarity on this in general, let's look at the IPO market overall over the past few years, specifically as it pertains to tech companies, or hot trending tech companies, as has been the case with Uber, Lyft, Pinterest, Peloton, and a few others. So at the beginning of 2019, the companies Uber, Lyft, Pinterest, Slack, Peloton, WeWork, and Palantir were considered extremely hot. However, once they hit the stock market, those valuations completely changed, with Uber down 30%. Of course, this was written in October, and the actual prices of the entire stock market have surged a bit since, so these prices are all slightly lower than what they are today. However, Uber at the time of writing this article was down 30%, Lyft down 55%, which is almost a crypto level loss there. We have Slack down 40%, Peloton down 17%. WeWork was, of course, one of the biggest travesties of private valuations and a private company essentially achieving a climate climate where there was no oversight, showing their hands as not only not profitable, but a tremendously volatile and risky asset with not a lot of upside. This was sort of the case of the IPO market for 2019 in the tech space. So of course, right now, when you see Ripple, which of course are having quite a bit of difficulty achieving disruption within the financial transfers, the cross-border remittances space, which they have made their home, their desire to make an IPO at this fledgling time in their success is yet another installment potentially into this story of fledgling tech companies that haven't quite achieved their profitability, turning that burden over to the public and essentially spreading that risk out while generating a tremendous amount of liquidity. Is this the answer to unlock the next stage in Ripple's development? Will this liquidity that they generate from the IPO allow them to become a dominant force in the cross-border remittances space? Or is this yet another example of a tech company that can't achieve profitability or the amount of liquidity it really needs to succeed, turning to the public markets to create what's called a lemon IPO? This, of course, was very much the case with Uber, who started with a $120 billion suggested valuation, first by Goldman Sachs, which eventually fell off to $62 billion. That is a 50% slide, of course, creating a tremendous amount of uproar and outrage with Goldman Sachs for suggesting such a high valuation, of course, calling into question the underwriters, the people who are presenting you with the IPO information. According to this article, Uber is not alone, as other unicorn companies have reached valuations of more than $1 billion when privately held have also run into trouble. Lyft, Uber's sister ride-sharing firm, has seen its shares fall to 1/3 of the IPO price. This is significant, right? Because we're looking at Ripple going down a path which significantly has been defined by failures over the past year. And the question is Ripple going to be another failure in this series of lemon IPOs? Or is Ripple going to use that cash to really protect the XRP holders, to stop dumping the XRP tokens, and to create a tremendous amount of liquidity, which they can go and use to achieve their goals of building more payment gateways, of building more corridors, of essentially expanding the impact and usability of the Ripple network? Is this a positive, or is this a huge negative of them waving the white flag and essentially trying to cash out for whatever they can get? I'm very curious. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. I see this as potentially going one of those two ways, but it's not clear which way it's going to go yet. Personally, I see positives and negatives on both sides. But actually, I like to turn to more educated people than myself when it comes to these IPO evaluations. One of those educated opinions is from none other than Michael Arrington, the founder of TechCrunch. He says, disregard FUD around a Ripple IPO. It's healthy and awesome if/when it happens. So you have essentially... He's really been at the epicenter of the growth of a lot of internet companies, so I think he knows what he's talking about. I don't know. It could go either way. I believe that there's plenty potential for Ripple to turn this into a positive, and there's plenty danger that this could create a cash-out event for a lot of early Ripple participants that could take away, essentially, motivation to achieve certain goals. It's really hard to say which way this will go. Hopefully, though, this will lead to a complete halt on the dumping of XRP and could potentially lead to a reversal in the overall horribly bearish trend that has taken place on the XRP chart over the last 2 years plus. So you guys let me know, what do you think the reality is? I think this is one of the most important and critical stories for cryptocurrency, as if this is very successful, we can see a lot of crypto firms going this particular way in the future. And it cannot be said enough. Right now, Bitcoin has just broken a 7-month downtrend as it's come off the highs of what we can see as a bear market retracement. Whatever you called the 2019 bull run, we're now reversing trends again. And I'm of the belief that if we make another run at the all-time high, we will be successful this time. So right now, of all the times in human history, could be one of the most beneficial for you to be looking at buying some Bitcoin. Guys, this is an amazing time. And Tim Draper here in this article is reiterating age-old points that we know, but obviously this is the new financial system governed by math, code, science. We have an old legacy system that is going to keep fighting for its place, but obviously over time it's hard to fight this new asset class. Technology will always win over in the end. So it's just important to remember that over the next few months to year plus, this is a time where you should be thinking about what you can afford to spend on Bitcoin. Not financial advice, not an investment advisor here. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, this is a very exciting time. And we're seeing the sideways action that could really be that bedrock of the next bull run. I'm extremely excited about it. And speaking of bullish, we have word here that over 700 blockchain firms have been founded in China this month alone, with over 26,000 in operation. 700 in a month. I feel like I don't even know 700 blockchain firms, and I've been researching this space for years. So to hear that 700 blockchain firms have been founded in this month alone in China is bullish as bullish can get. Let me know what you guys think about that news in the comments below. And for me as a business operator in the space, hearing about more banking services is absolutely critical. So seeing here that a major Swiss banking firm is going to be launching services for cryptocurrency, this is the story you'll hear more and more as this asset class becomes more and more mainstreamed and easier to conduct business around, which is of course what will allow for a flourishing of businesses and services in the crypto economy. Hugely bullish news, big green flag here. And just to end today, I figured I would bring up this article I saw on Reddit, which essentially says technical analysis is just astrology for businessmen. And I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Let me know what you guys think. TA does seem to feel like some dark magic sometimes, but it's right and then it's not right. And then did you interpret it right? Did you read the signs right? Did you really understand what the signs were telling you? There's so much going on here that I thought I would just throw this out here. What do you guys think? Is TA the male businessman version of astrology? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, that's it. That's all we got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. I'll be back on tomorrow with an update from Mike McGlone from Bloomberg. Really excited about that. Then we have an interview with one of the heads over at the Energy Project later this week. And then we also are following that. Hopefully we can get Crown on this week as well. We can get some sense of where we're going and bring on some of your favorite guests from the past. Let me know what you guys thought about this video in the comment section below. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, if it made you smile, if it made you cry, please hit that like button. It's so easy for you to do. It helps the channel. And of course, if you're not already subscribed, hit that sub button. As usual, I'm Elio Trades. You're watching FUD TV, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode.